Plaza de la Alfalfa. Why is it called that? Was it always its name? I'm going to tell you the reason for the name of this central plaza in Seville. Well, in Roman times, this area it was the meeting point of the maximum thirsty that ran from north to south, from the current church of Santa Catalina to the street Abades, and the major decuman that passed from east to west, from the current church of San Esteban on the street Águila to the Plaza del Salvador, where was the forum of the Roman imperial era. In the Arab era, it was the Alcácer place, where it was authorized to trade. Arrival the Reconquist, the area was used as a reservoir for animal feed, mainly alfalfa. In the 15th century, is known as the Plaza de la Caza, commercializes with these products. In the 16th century, it was used as a meat warehouse that arrived in Seville, became the last butcher shop in the city. In the 19th century, began to be known as Plaza del Boquete, selling meat is the added vegetables, cereals, and other products. Espartero's wheel occupies part of the square. Fall of the monarchy is called Plaza de Mendizábal, and in 1937 replaced by that of General Mola. Despite all the denominations made by the Plaza de la Alfalfa by the natives, this reason the city council moves to title it in 1980 with this traditional name.
The Tower of Gold, probably the emblem of Seville by excellence with permission from the Giralda. The tower is a legacy of the Almohades in the 13th century. The cupola of the tower is more recent addition. It was built in 1760. Its height is 36 meters. The Tower of Gold is a dodecagonal military watchtower in Seville. It was built to control access to Seville via the Guadalquivir River. The name Tower of Gold probably was from the gilt ceramic tiles that originally decorated the tower. Also comes from the golden shine it projected on the river for the building materials, a mixture of mortar, lime, and pressed hide. Another reason was the gold that was unladed here during the time that Seville had the monopoly over the trade with the New World. The tower is divided into the 3 levels. The first level, the decagonal with a 12-sided, was built in 1221 by order of the Almohad governor of Seville, Abu Hiula. The second level of only 8 meters was built by Peter of Castile in the 14th century. It's made of bricks and has a hexagonal floor plan. It has ceramic decoration. The third and uppermost level is circular. Was added after because the previous third level, Almohad, was badly damaged by the 1765 Lisbon earthquake. Rebuilding of this level was made by engineer Sebastian van der Borch in 1760. It is an Albarana tower, was part of a fortified wall to define the city, connected to the other tower, the Silver Tower, with a military function. It is one of 2 anchor points for a large chain that would have been able to block the river. The other anchor point has since been disappeared during the Lisbon earthquake. The chain was used in the city's defense and against the Castilian fleet under Ramón de Bonifaz in the 1248 during the Reconquista. Bonifaz broke the river defense and separated Seville from Triana. The tower was badly damaged by the Lisbon earthquake and was saved on several occasions from disappearing thanks to the people of Seville. This tower was popularly called the Sultana. The tower served as a prison and a capillary during the Middle Age. Legend has it that the tower serves as a refuge for the ladies that King Peter I the Cruel courted. The most famous love affair was that of Doña Aldonza. The Golden Tower is one of Seville's most photographed monuments for its fabulous location, a wide avenue near the river bank close to the city's historic center. In 1992, the tower was made a brother to the Tower of Belém of Lisbon to celebrate the Universal Exposition in Seville. The tower was again restored in 2005. This tower is now home to a naval museum, which has a collection related to the city's rich maritime history and its connection with the New World.
My favorite place in Sevilla. There isn't in particular, there are several places. One of them is to stroll through the center of Sevilla and get into the street so narrow that driving through them is scary. Get up the Giralda and see its expansive height and majesty of its minaret and the lily in each corner, and see Los Reales Alcázares and, of course, the cathedral. And I continue my walk, and I love to see the stately houses with those balconies, to get to the Avenida de los Reyes Católicos, and from there to get to the Triana Bridge, see the Guadalquivir River, and the connects training for their champions, go through San Jacinto Street, and enter La Estrella, see the neighbor go shopping in a small shop, I with you forgetting the Triana Market, and see the diversity of finding the archaeological remains of the Castillo de San Jorge. It's difficult to choose a single city. Sevilla is as the song says. It had a special color, and it's said by Madeleine, in love with this land.
Hello, my name is Veronica Camaripano. Today I'm going to talk about my favorite place in Seville. My favorite place in Seville is the Calle Betis. The Calle Betis is in the Triana neighborhood. If you are on the Column Walk and cross the Isabella Católica Bridge, better known as the Triana Bridge, you reach to Altozano on the right. You have the market of Triana, and on the left down street the Calle Betis. This street goes from the Triana Bridge to the San Telmo Bridge in the Plaza de Cuba, following the gutter of the Guadalquivir River, some 750 meters in length. This singular and busy street is highly frequented by tourists, as it runs parallel to Guadalquivir and enjoys outstanding views of the riverbank, and from which many of the city's most outstanding buildings can be seen, such as the Giralda, the Torre del Oro, the Bull Ring, the facade of the church of the Hospital de la Caridad or the Teatro de la Maestranza, and beyond the Palace of San Telmo, the towers of the Plaza de España, and the old piers of the city, from where the ships departed for America. For all these reasons, it is ideal to take a good walk in the afternoon and sit in any of these multiple bars to have a beer or a good coffee. During the last week of July, the Velada Santiago y Santa Ana is celebrated festival declared of tourist interest in Andalusia, which can date back to the 30th century, in which both are witness to the river and illuminate and fill the night of the Triana neighborhood with color. It is a small fair with rebujito, music, and the popular cucaña. You cannot leave Seville without having walked down the Calle Betis.
Hello, my name is Yolanda, and my favorite place is the Maria Luisa Park of Seville.
This is my favorite place, a green lawn for the city. This is the most famous of the city. Opened in 1914 and took part of the private gardens of the San Telmo Palace, designed by the French landscaper Jean-Claude Nicolas Forestier. I have spent a lot of time painting every corner, gazebos, fountains. I like everything this place. The Baker gazebos, the brothers Álvarez Quintero gazebos, the soprano Ofelia Nieto gazebo, of the Concha and the Infanta Maria Luisa gazebo, who donated these gardens. The Frogs Southeast, which is a good job in ceramics field. The Lion Garden, with a fountain and pergolas. The Gurugu Mount, that is an artificial adorned with gazebo and waterfall. The American Square, now as picnic place, a children's attraction. There are several pavilions too, buildings that were made in the Universal Exposition of 1929 time. Pavilion Mudeja nowadays is the Popular Art and Custom Museum. Royal Pavilion is municipal office. It's a big and wide park, ideal to discover on foot, by bike, by horse-drawn carriage, and go on a picnic. There are a lot of plants and birds. A big garden located in the middle of the city.
My favorite place in Seville is Santa Cruz neighborhood. It's a magical place with many stories, legend, and it's the perfect representation of the Jewish footprint in the city. The first thing that captures attention when you visit this place is the narrowness of the streets. This is because the Jewish people who live in the part of the city from the 10th to the 15th century thought it was safe for people who lived there, but very difficult for strangers. I recommend you a map if you don't want to get lost when you visit this area. In this part of the city, there are many houses with patios and fountains, and when you walk at night, you can hear the sound of running water. It's beautiful. In Santa Cruz neighborhood, you can find houses which retain the typical colors of the city: white, ochre, and red, as well as arches and wooden gates. Inside this part of the city, you can find one of the most important museums, the Hospital de los Venerables, a place where you can see baroque paintings. Santa Cruz is a neighborhood with many literary references. The most famous is Don Juan Tenorio, the main character of El Burlador de Sevilla, written by Tirso de Molina. This theater takes places in its squares and in the Hosteria del Laurel, a bar where at the end of October you can see some fragments because some people usually represent it. But my favorite story around Santa Cruz neighborhood is the legend of La Susona, a story of love and death in which the most beautiful woman in the city, La Susona, the daughter of a Judas leader, imposed himself a brutal punishment after betraying his father and causing his death. I've explained it thousands of times on dramatic pieces over there, and it's great to see people's reaction when I tell it.